What the heck? This place is huge. Just look at the size of this mill. This is something you'd see in a painting, but in real life, you would never think. This is such a surreal experience. I love this place. It's amazing. And look at all this mist too. It is so freaking foggy out right now. It's just unbelievable. It's only 6 a.m. and just look how amazing it is outside. I love the sunrise at this time. In Washington, every single morning I've been here, it's been such an amazing sunrise. It does not disappoint. I'm going to be continuing into Cascades National Park, which is actually at the opposite side of Washington from where we're at the moment. So we're out towards Aberdeen and we're headed all the way to Cascades. We got to go through Olympia and Seattle to get to where we're going today. So it's a ton of driving, but we have a ton of stuff to see too. I have all this stuff planned to check out. There's some waterfalls, hiking trails. There might even be an abandoned mill we could get inside of. So for Seattle itself, you might be wondering if I'm gonna stop and look at anything, and the answer is no. There's a gum wall and 2 lighthouses that I really wanted to see, but the problem with Seattle is it's like any big city, you know, you gotta pay for every single thing. So parking you gotta pay for, you gotta pay a fee to see this stuff, and it's just too much regulation. I hate big government regulation like this, so we're not seeing any of it. Instead, we're driving straight through, and today's cynosure is going to be Cascades National Park. Stay tuned. And this is the Equator ship, which Robert Louis Stevenson, which is a author, he sailed it from Honolulu to Gilbert Islands. He wrote a novel during his sailing, and then after that it just became abandoned, and he had dreams of restoring it and putting it back in sea, but just didn't have the funding and it never happened. And now it's just sitting abandoned. It's right in the town of Seattle. Pretty neat, the Equator. Safe to say it'll never be seaworthy again. Get all that rot. At the train. Yo, this is pretty much goodbye to Seattle. It's cool, like almost like a swampland. Down this road lies an abandoned mill known as the Fortson Mill. This place is huge. Just look at the size of this mill. It's massive. I love how overgrown it is too. The thing about Washington is once you get into the woods, there's absolutely no way getting to anything unless you're on a trail, just because of how much plant life there is around the whole area. There's probably some huge piece of machinery on those cement blocks. And just going inside of these ruins, which are absolutely massive, a bunch of moss growing over the cement. Mad Oregon vibes. Lee's already went inside. This is awesome looking. Going into the second room. So this is the one we entered, which, look at all these pillars too. Which is a 2-story building, I believe. So yeah, we have an upper level. We'll begin with this room though. Just look at how on the entry, how all this moss just grows around it. And it's doing that because of these indents. You see how it does that kind of notch? You can see on this side, the moss is able to grip that and it just grows on it. Because the moss could grow on a lot of stuff, but it's usually not going to be on a straight, flat surface. But if it has notches like that, then it could grip it. And going in, whoa, that's a whole tree, man. Whole tree growing inside of this mill. This is crazy. A lot of graffiti too, which is pretty to be expected with something like this. All that moss, like what? Which this is a textured surface. That's why it's able to grow like this. And I really like how with this graffiti, the moss has just grown right into it. And due to the graffiti color, it kind of has like a matching type of look. That's really trippy. And then this tree, this is what I like. I was surprised to see a tree just growing inside of a mill like this, but it's growing. It's a healthy tree too. And this is all opened up. This was a wood mill. Obviously not a mining one like the ones we've seen in past episodes. This is a new kind of mill for us. It has a second story on it, which I'm curious if we can get up to it or not. That's the second story, which I don't quite see a way to get up to it. People have in the past, judging by all the graffiti, but it looks pretty empty. Like we kind of have an idea already just from looking at this spot, but this isn't it, because on the adjacent side, the ruins continue. I still want to get some videography of this too, some cinematic shots, because this is such a amazing looking place. This is the end of the mill. From when this was active, they would have had a gate that comes on to prohibit access so that no trespassers come. It's now long abandoned. I always like going to abandoned places. I hope to see quite a few abandoned prior to the cross-country series ending. Like some abandoned mines, some ghost towns, houses, cabins, whatnot like that. Really neat place, which we haven't actually finished it. What the hell? Well, that goes. Okay. Wasn't expecting a drop off. Dude, look how freaking high up that is. Before we get going, definitely want to see these remains, because that's what we looked at, that humongous building, really the main building at the mill. But this one, how do we even get down? So overgrown, so much plants. Spooky. Yeah, can't really go this way. We've seen it. We've seen the mill. Actually, we could take this. Almost. And we've seen it all. Awesome. See, that's where we were standing on. Was up that way, which I did not expect this big of a drop off. I didn't see that right till I went up to it. We're getting close to Cascades National Park, We will be in it today, and that's where we're going to be camping. Let's continue on the road. We got a good 50 miles till we get to our camping spot. It's such an ominous looking building. If you were hiking and you did not expect to find it, just imagine hiking this trail, then looking over and seeing this ginormous cement building that's totally abandoned, covered in graffiti in the woods. That'd be kind of freaky. I've seen messed up campers in the past, but this is beyond broken. This thing looks like it just fell off a cliff. It's like, I'm going up this road in search of a camping spot. It's just any forest road you go up, you're gonna find some free camping. And then boom, we found an old travel trailer, what kind is it? Who made this piece of crap? Trail something. Trail Lights. Trail Light by who? By Our Vision. I haven't even heard of that brand. No wonder why it's broken down. This is how I search for my campgrounds. I'm going down this forest road, and to the right of me, I see an offshoot. So what we're going to do is drive on this offshoot and see if there's a camp at the end, because I'd say about 8 times out of 10, you'll have a camping spot. What the heck? What did they do to this place? Why is there so many lawnmowers? Gotta go investigate. Washington, what is going on with all these abandoned stuff? Who dumped a bunch of, what a-hole did this? Why would you dump a bunch of lawnmowers, man? Whoa, got a few freaking lawnmowers. Who has this many lawnmowers to begin with? Like, let's back up and discuss that. Craftsman? Boo. I'm joking, that's a joke. I like Craftsman. Another boo. I don't want to camp at this spot. Who would want to camp next to that? Maybe there's something up this way. Alright, Suzuki, things are getting a little sketchy. We'll see that vehicle in a quick second. Let's see how far this backs up. Not a camping spot for me. I wouldn't feel comfortable camping here. It's kind of creepy. Somebody's, what is that, a tent? And a totally smashed up vehicle. I would be very much interested in knowing the story of this vehicle. How did it end up here, and why is it out here to begin with? What is it? What kind of vehicle is it? I don't know. I cannot say I know this one. I think it might be a Toyota, Volvo maybe? Toyota, Volvo, those are my guesses. Take your guess, or maybe you know. Could this be the one? Have we found camp? Let's find out. Success, we found a camping spot. So this goes, it's a dead end. Ends right at that spot. And then somebody's camping spot. Backed right up to the road. This is a success. Thumbs up for the camping spot. Definitely a success finding this camping spot. Now it's just got to get unpacked, cook up some food, and then we will call it a vlog. Let's get cooking. Knockoff Spam. This is what we're cooking today. Got the knockoff. And then we got the tomatoes to add to the Spam, as well as steak sauce. And last but not least, this is the whole reason why I'm cooking this today, is because these have to get used up before they go bad. Tomato, just this one. And that is what you call a Spam sandwich.